Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. As you can see on the screen, the article says breaking for Ethereum, the Australian central bank to use Ethereum blockchain for CBDC project. Now, how is it that Ethereum won a CBDC project when they're not ISO20022 certified? Why didn't they pick XRP or XLM or ALGO? Well, I'm going to explain that to you in this video as we walk through this article. And if you stay with me, we're going to take a look at the Ethereum chart and try to decide if it's time to buy or not. So let's get into it. Well, guys, I made a video a couple of weeks ago that said that Ethereum is going to get the lion's share of the CBDC market. And I got a lot of feedback in the comment section that said that can't be possible because they're not ISO 20022 certified. Well, as I've mentioned before, if you follow the smart money, guys, you know, the entities that move the markets, the international banks, Wall Street, major corporations like BlackRock, and the US government, you'll understand that when they pick an entity, whether it's crypto, stocks, it doesn't matter, they're going to pick winners and losers as much as they possibly can. And they have chosen Ethereum. So they have allowed their ecosystem to explode. They haven't allowed it, they made it happen. Now, I want you guys to think about something. JP Morgan is running around the globe trying to set up and create CBDC projects. Well, this one they made happen. Now, whether you know it or not, JP Morgan had a big say in setting up the Ethereum or the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. They own Quorum. Quorum sits on top of Ethereum. Well, Quorum landed this CBDC. So if Quorum is setting that up and they're making money, they pay gas fees. Ethereum wins. I'll give you another example. JP Morgan used to own Consensus. They sold it off. However, they still own a big percent of Consensus. Well, Consensus has a big relationship and some partnerships with Visa. Well, if Visa works with Consensus and Visa makes money, Consensus makes money, Consensus sits on top of Ethereum. They pay gas fees. Ethereum wins. Now, I'm not here to shield Ethereum, guys, and quite frankly, it bothers me about the gas fees, and it bothers me that they're the chosen one, because quite frankly, I don't believe they have the best technology. But I've been around long enough to know it doesn't matter what I think, and quite frankly, doesn't matter what you think, because we don't move the market. And what I want you guys to understand is stop thinking about investing like you think about with your money. Even if you're a wealthy individual and you throw $1 million at a time around, you don't have any input and you don't move the markets. Now you might move some, no-name token, but I'm talking about, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the big projects. We don't put a dent. But here's what I want you to think about, guys. Imagine if the average person's just putting a couple thousand, 10,000, maybe even $100,000 into crypto, but they're wanting to turn that into some real money. Well, imagine if you already had real money. Let's say you were worth 50 million, 100 million, or you were a billionaire. You're not trying to turn $1 billion to $1 trillion. The first goal is not to lose your money, because when you already have substantial wealth, when you grow that by 10%, 15% or 50%, that is massive. So the number one goal is not to lose your massive amount of money you already have accumulated, whether that's an individual, a bank, or a hedge fund, or whatever. That's the way it works. Now, I want you to think about something else. If you're at a cocktail party and your friends respect you, and let's just say you're on the $10,000 level of putting into different blockchains. Well, you tell your friends what you're going to do. And let's say 3 or 4 or 5 decide they're going to do that as well. And they all put in 10 or 25,000 or whatever. Guys, it's irrelevant. Now, that exact scenario works on Wall Street, and that's what I'm trying to get you guys to totally understand. Because once you understand how the big boys think, you can follow along, and if you really get it right, we can front run them. That's our goal, because here's how it works. If Wall Street has chosen, for instance, Ethereum, and they know that JP Morgan has already put a substantial amount of money into Ethereum, and they have it's in their best interest to move Ethereum forward. And they know Microsoft has done the same thing, and they know BlackRock is invested as well. Once we get regulation, guys, when Wall Street is deciding which blockchain to move into, they're going to want to move where their friends go, because they know, just like we were talking about with your friends putting in 10 or 25,000, they know their friends are going to put in hundreds, 100 million, a billion, 5 billion. So when they add their friends' money together, they know that that market is going to move, and they know it's going to have stability, because they all think and move alike for the most part. And we want to do the same thing. So stop looking at these investments, or any investment for that matter, like the average retail person. Because guys, like 85% of all investors in any market lose money. Some people would tell you it's more like 90. Well, who makes all the money? Well, there used to be a saying in my office. There was a sign over the door that said if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. Well, the retail market is not right, guys. You want to follow Wall Street, the banks, and the U.S. government. And that's what I'm here to teach you to do. And if you do that, I truly believe you'll be successful. Now, this is not financial advice, but this is my opinion, and it's tried and true of over 30 years of watching it happen and watching it play out. There's certain foundational rules that you need to follow. And the number one rule is follow the smart money. Some people would argue it is don't lose money, but that's either here nor there. Anyway, guys, that's what I was wanting to educate you guys about. Let's take a look at the Ethereum chart. Now, a lot of people are going to hate this. I actually love it. Now, there's two things I always look at before I invest. The first thing I do is, what are the fundamentals telling me? What's the economy doing? What's the macro? What's the macro doing? Well, guys, we're in a global recession. We're in a recession here in America. Now, the government doesn't want to acknowledge that, but we are. You can't change the reality. You can change the rules, but we're still in a recession. Now, guys, I try to look forward. I don't need the government to tell me in 90 days that we have inflation. I buy food and groceries and fill up my car every day. And when the prices keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, I know we have inflation. Just like right now, every single day you hear about layoffs. Well, if everyone's laying off, all the banks are laying off, real estate companies are laying off, crypto's laying off, um, Google's even laying off, Facebook's laying off. Look at those global corporations getting rid of employees. So guys, the government uses hindsight. They're saying that we have a strong uh, employment market, but we don't. And employment is going to change, and it's falling off a cliff. So 90 days from now, people are going to realize what's going on. And no one's going to be able to deny that we're in a recession. And what's my point? Well, my point is, guys, I truly believe now's not the time to buy. Unless you want to do some type of swing trade that we're oversold, which you could easily build a case for, I think we're going to test, and we're real close to testing that 1,000, and I don't see why it's not going to break. Now, that being said, I don't care what happens in the next couple of weeks or months. If the Fed doesn't pivot, we're going to go lower, and here's what I think is going to happen. Something's going to break. Because if you look at any big market crash, something breaks. We're already seeing a huge pullback earlier this year in Wall Street. We've seen what happened in crypto. And guys, nothing technically has broken in Wall Street for sure. Now, there has been some craziness in crypto, but nothing broke in Wall Street. And what would we hit? Right at 40%, just below 40%, like 37, 38% earlier this year. Wait till something breaks. It's going to break. And then everything, I mean, every asset, period, in my opinion, is going to crash. I really believe we have deflation coming. Now, what's the point of that? When it does, this is going lower, just like everything else. I think my strategy is to dollar cost average in, not financial advice. And then when the Fed pivots and they cut on that printing press, whether it's next week, next month, or 2 years from now, I'm going to stack and stack and stack. And we are going to take out that high right there, changing gears. I have no doubt. I'm following the adoption. I'm following the smart money. And with the merge and that Ethereum is going deflationary over time, and the more the bigger it gets and the more it's used, the more deflationary it gets. Guys, this is going to be explosive. Now, again, not shilling Ethereum. Do your own research. I think you'll come to the same conclusion. But hopefully you understand from this video how Ethereum can win without directly, being in the front of the banking sector. It's through the back end, so to speak. Whatever sets on Ethereum, Ethereum's going to get paid. In my opinion, whether it's gaming through like Polygon Studios, or if it's like winning the metaverse, like through ApeCoin and the other side setting on top of Ethereum. See, if ApeCoin wins, Ethereum wins. If Polygon Studios, with all the gaming and projects they have, like they just signed a deal with Starbucks, well, Ethereum basically just signed a deal with Starbucks. So, guys, whether we like it or not, if you look at the ecosystem of Ethereum, quit following the technology. There's 10 different blockchains that have better technology, in my opinion, than Ethereum. But they don't have the ecosystem, and they don't have JP Morgan, companies like Microsoft behind them. And they damn sure don't have the American government being used as a weapon against them, right? That's what's going on, in my opinion, with XRP. They weren't the chosen one. And I like XRP and I own XRP. However, they do not have Wall Street behind them. Now, I think that will change after the SEC rules, but I don't think that Wall Street's going to run into XRP but they are going to definitely get into Ripple if they have an IPO and they go on the stock exchange, because Ripple is a powerhouse to be reckoned with. And Wall Street is going to go there and not go into the token, because there's no reason to back them when they can back Ethereum. Anyway, guys, hopefully that gives you something to think about. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. And look, we want you to be part of this community. So go ahead and subscribe, mash that notification, and that's all I got for you guys. Come back, be part of this community. Take care.